Multiverse of Madness? No. And Multiverse of Quantum Madness?
Multiverse of
Quantumania garbage? Quantum dumpster fire? I'm kidding.
Okay.
I'm kidding.
Hello everybody, welcome back to another MCU review. So we got Christian Hopkins,
Logan Wilson, Albert Pujols.
and today we're going to be talking about the most recent addition to the MCU with Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantumania.
I just saw it
like 2 hours ago.
2 hours ago.
Yeah, so it's fresh.
That doesn't mean I'm going to let recency bias take over. I'm not going to do that.
Yeah. So, should we start with what we didn't like?
Start bad. Yeah, I'd say start bad because there's more good than bad.
Do we want to say the big bad?
Say the thing.
Do we need to talk about that thing first, or do we want to talk about other things?
I say we get that
Darren.
MODOK.
No, Darren.
MODOK. Garbage. One of the worst characters in the
Trash.
MCU. I can't think of one that's worse. Name me one. Seriously, name characters. What?
Carly.
That's what
She's
I was
better.
saying.
No.
She's better.
No,
She's
don't.
better.
No, don't.
She's better than MODOK. Go
No.
watch the movie again. She's better.
No, she's not.
Literally everybody's better than MODOK. He's the worst character ever written.
Carly
He's a
is...
joke.
But Carly is too.
Not as much of a joke as...
Well, they know that he's a joke.
Exactly!
They know that they didn't like because Carly they're trying to make intimidating and she's just annoying. At least they knew what they were making with this. They knew he looked stupid because in his death scene
Why
he
did
throws
he?
up.
Why did he look stupid? He shouldn't have. It's MODOK. It's one of the most iconic Marvel villains, and they made him a joke.
You know the crazy part? He looks comic accurate.
Except he shouldn't have. That's the thing. He shouldn't have. I've said this for a long time. I have said for the longest time, if they ever bring MODOK to the MCU, they can't make him comic accurate. They just can't.
But like
there's no way you can play it off well.
That's MODOK's identity, though.
Except here's the thing: he looks good with the mask down. Should have left it like that.
That's what I
I don't have a problem as much of a problem with him. I have a problem with the fact that he always puts his mask up.
That it should have never came up. He should have had a face.
Low key, I have a problem with that for everybody. This is a very minor nitpick. I hate how every time a character talks, their helmet flips back. It's always so often, and I love
because in Ant-Man 1 and Civil War.
Also, when did they start doing like to get their helmet done?
Always some sort of like motion, like hey, put it on.
It's
that's a very minor nitpick for everybody.
Because in Ant-Man and Civil War, they talk a lot with it.
Yeah, with clothes.
And yeah, which we're talking about.
I didn't
I agree
think about
100%.
that.
I wish it was just like his brain inside there and keep the mask down and like made him intimidating. I would like more. I don't
like Kang salvaged like his brain, and that's all he could salvage.
Correct.
Yes, exactly.
You saw his butt.
Exactly. It looked like something from Minions. He looked like a minion.
What did I say he looked like?
Mr. Electric.
Mr. Electric.
No, that's what he said.
Really quick though, shout out to Jackson and Melanie. When I talked to them about this, Melanie's first thought when I described MODOK was, isn't that Mr. Electric?
I remember when I said that.
George Lopez.
Told me that.
Yeah.
He's a 20,000 times better villain. He's fantastic.
But
should have just said her.
I'm glad that he wasn't. They could have put him in so much more of this movie, but they
exactly. He wasn't.
Yeah,
in that much
he wasn't in much, but he was in too much.
Thank the Lord.
Yeah,
he was still in too much.
He wasn't in so much to where it brings the movie down.
He
so
shouldn't have
much.
existed.
When he's dying, right, and he throws up his stuff, it's okay. I think it's kind of funny because
it's hilarious.
It gives way to funny stuff like Hope going, you're an Avenger, buddy.
You're right. It was
the
hilarious.
funny moments
that
that
was the
had,
issue.
I don't despise MODOK before his redemption.
I think it would have been so much worse if that's actually how Kang done it. If that like those ants had like killed him because of MODOK.
Yes.
The thing is, at the end of the day, he didn't do much.
He was useless. The plot would have been almost identical.
I'd say just take him out.
They should have just removed him. And this movie would have been 10 times better than it is.
Yeah, but he wasn't in so much in the movie to where it brings the movie down that much.
I think where he was there, it was pain. It was nothing but pain for me.
He never serves if he had served a big part in the story.
Didn't serve any purpose. He was just
he
a
also
joke.
felt a little more intimidating.
And it's more of just the gravity of the character. He is such an important... MODOK is such an important character in the Marvel Universe, and to just take him, put him in there, make him a joke, and nothing more.
Especially when... And especially when that's another thing, when, like, personality-wise, it's like... Because Yellow Jacket was cool.
Yellow Jacket was sick.
His entire character completely flips.
Yeah.
You think, if anything, he would be even more menacing and like traumatized from what happened.
Yeah.
But no,
And
he
show
no
a lot,
big deal.
And show a lot
and
more
they
with Scott.
even like address that. They're like, he says you're like a brother to me, and Scott goes, I was? They even address like, oh, he's kind of weird.
And that's also the only CGI in the movie. Is just him dying.
I know. So I saw a lot of complaints about the CGI.
The only thing about this movie that looks bad
is MODOK, but
MODOK.
I don't despise MODOK, but I do agree with
sure
Logan.
did
I do
despise it.
agree with Logan's complaint.
To do that to such a major character in Marvel is sad.
But I think
if I didn't know how important he was in comics, I wouldn't hate it as much as I do. But I know about him in the comics, so I hate it.
Yeah. Right. I feel like if I'm an outside viewer, like never read any
Dude, he's
Marvel
better in the
comics,
Avengers game.
I know.
I know.
Sad. It's very sad. He's better in the Avengers
He's not
game.
bad in the Avengers game.
Better
he's
in
not.
Superhero Squad.
The main thing I despise about MODOK is his stupid redemption, but aside from that, it's like I hate him. I don't despise him.
Okay, Cassie's line is funny.
That is funny. No, a lot of this movie is hilarious.
Yeah, I think
in places where
and
it
then
doesn't need to be.
No, he could tell you. I laugh whenever it looks at him and he goes, What's the first thing he says? He said, but I'm a dick, and I lost it. But
I don't know what to be.
I don't know what to be. Tell me what to be. And I'm like, dude, shut.
I honestly, every second that MODOK was on the screen, I couldn't laugh. I was just in pain. I was literally just doing this the whole time. Just sitting there staring.
A lot of the movie, I'm like, what happening? Okay, let's agree to here. Do we have anything else to talk about with MODOK?
Yes. No, with MODOK?
Yeah.
No.
Okay,
I think we can move on from MODOK.
Okay. No more MODOK.
No more MODOK. That's it.
Can't bring it back up, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay.
I
I have more bad.
Janet. Oh, Janet.
Janet? Where is she? Where's her? I thought this movie was going to be all about her.
No, my thing is with her, she's stupid. She doesn't tell anyone anything.
Here's the thing. Here's what she should have done. The second she got out of the multiverse, I have a story to tell you guys.
Hey,
Here's
there
what
is an
happened.
intergalactic
but
being.
you have to keep in mind what she went through. I understand. She should have mentioned it so much
Doctor
sooner.
Strange. Tell the Avengers. The fate of the multiverse. Tell the Avengers.
Yes, exactly.
That's my thing is I understand why she did it,
But at the same
you
time,
can keep it from your family, yeah, okay, but tell someone. Tell Doctor Strange, tell Scarlet Witch, tell literally anyone that can.
Dead.
Yeah, she's dead. But tell anyone that can handle it.
or so they can be ready for
Tell
which
anyone.
they will be now.
They will
So,
be.
because they had to go through this whole movie to be like, oh yeah, I should probably
Well, thing is, now I think he's dead. And they don't know.
And they made $1 billion like the whole end of the movie where he's like
Right.
walking on the street.
Hey, we won't have to
He's
worry
fine,
about it.
right? He's gone. Yeah, he's gone. You know, he ain't gone.
But I mean, I can understand why Janet didn't bring that up just because of what she went through down there. And we did see it. She was down there for God knows how long.
I can
she
see-
essentially doomed that.
I can see
realm.
why she doesn't tell her family.
But at the same
But
time,
to not tell literally anyone is so.
To just ignore everything that happened and just try to move on with your life.
Her entire character, the entire movie, is just kind of people being pissed at her.
which for good reason.
But other than that, she's
Yes,
not a character.
She's hardly there. I thought this movie was going to give her so much more because I thought this movie was going to be about her.
Her entire character in this movie was, I can't tell you.
For the first half
Until
First half of the movie.
until they just find everything out on their own. She literally never
Yeah, she doesn't.
About to say,
No.
Scott doesn't find out from her.
Scott doesn't,
Scott
but
doesn't.
Hope and Hank, she sits down and tells them everything of what happened.
So,
There's an entire 5 to 10 minutes.
After they've already.
She tells the two characters that are also barely a part of this movie.
Yeah.
But Scott, the main character of the movie, finds out from the man himself.
The man himself,
Yeah.
yeah.
Hey, who are you? Oh, she hasn't. He literally says she hasn't told you about me. I'm like, oh my god, he knows.
Yeah. Which Scott also is separated from them because they're split into 2 different groups. So.
Right.
But still, I think it's dumb.
No, just the fact she wasn't in enough of this
Hank
movie.
is a better character than her in this movie. Hank, awesome.
Yeah, he's
Well, Hank.
Hank didn't
I
die.
wanted
Thank the Lord.
wanted more of Hank.
He does get his little moment at the end, though.
Yeah. where he's walking towards like on the bridge, like all the ants behind him. I'm like,
what other bad do we have?
Placement of comedy. Marvel has gotten lazy with how they put together their comedy with like the rest of the movie.
Why did He Who Must Not Be Named throw up? There it is right there.
That whole scene, just the placement of it.
The only comedy that got old for me was every time, like just about every time, like MODOK would like first be shown and he would like tell a story, they would always interrupt him. That's the only comedy that got old.
A lot of it's not about the quality of the comedy; it's about the placement.
Yeah,
like back in the day, the comedy used to be placed so seamless, like the Avengers.
If you die, walk it off.
The comedy was seamless. Even you can have a villain that cracks jokes. Loki would crack jokes and then seamlessly transition into being a menacing villain.
Yeah, the thing is, I'm so glad they did not try to make Kang funny. Thank you, Lord.
Yeah,
for not trying to make Kang funny.
Yeah, he was the one character where like
Thank you. Like they didn't try to make Thanos funny.
No.
Except he ended up being kind of funny in his like own way.
Yes.
That's what I'm saying. The placement of everything, and then his reaction.
The only well-placed joke in the middle of a serious scene was the little dude. Does he have a name? Hole Man. The little Hole Man. Where it's like all serious, and then he does the holes, and then that's the only like good well-placed like comedy in the middle of it.
It just feels like they've gotten lazy with their script writing, and they're kind of just getting to the point where they're like, okay, if we put enough jokes in here, everyone's going to go see it.
The thing is, they can somewhat get away with it this movie.
Because
Guardians 3, no, you're not getting away with it. Yeah. No, you're not.
They'll get away with some, like,
a little bit because it's the Guardians.
I think
the emotion needs to drive that movie.
I think for the most part, this wasn't near as bad as what they have done in terms of like.
No, because the comedy
in terms of like comedic flow,
it had its serious moments.
Yeah, but they were rudely interrupted by some horrible moments. Yes. I thought,
except the end.
Yeah, it was good.
The end is really good.
After he who must not be named dies.
Throws up
and dies.
The
rest of that one, great. Yeah. Oh yeah, but I just think they've gotten a little bit lazy with how they intertwine the comedy.
It could have been worse.
It could have been worse. It definitely could have been better, but it didn't bother me. Just because I went to this movie like expecting it to be kind of a little more lighthearted.
I expected them to take a serious turn with it. I did.
I understand why.
This movie wasn't as comedic as I thought it was going to be.
Really?
No, absolutely not.
Oh my gosh.
It's Ant-Man.
Exactly. I expected it to take a turn because things are getting real.
It did at the very end. You thought Ant-Man was almost died.
That's about it. Yeah. Until that point.
I wouldn't expect it to be an Ant-Man movie, so I expect it to be a little more comedic.
I get it's Paul Rudd.
Because it would have been another Ragnarok thing where it's such a drastic tone shift, and it would have been just...
Well, the Ragnarok thing was well balanced.
That was incredibly written.
But it was still... Yeah, but it was well written. Tone shift. With like going from serious from the first two to being a little more comedic, and we don't speak about Love and Thunder. But...
Taika.
Oh my god.
But, I mean... I do agree. Parts of the comedy could have been definitely handled a lot better, but for the most part, I thought it was fun.
No, it wasn't as comedic as I thought it was going to be.
Yeah,
I mean, it can have more comedy if they just write it better.
That's the base for the first two.
They just simply have to write it better.
Yes,
that's about
because the first two wrote it in, intertwined it better with everything else. I think,
and that's about the same that I expected going into this movie. So that's why I probably
and I expected comedy. Of course, it's Ant-Man.
I didn't expect the kind of comedy of He Who Must Not Be Named.
I didn't expect it to punch me in the face.
Yeah, okay.
I expected it to flow. I expected to laugh and then be right back into it. This one grabbed me by the throat, said, "Laugh!" and then put me back down. That's what this did.
Yeah, but
my only other gripe with the movie is that the first third of the movie is slow.
But when I do that, I want you to put MODOK in my hands.
Hey, you said his name.
I'm sorry.
No, the first like third of the movie is slow and doesn't match the pacing of the rest of it to me.
That's fair.
What are you considering the first third?
Up until she tells them all about Kang, and like the whole thing with like them like her like stabbing that guy, cutting off his arm, like up until all that, where they're kind of wondering.
I would say I would classify the end of like the first third of the movie to be. Like,
I don't think any of this movie was slow because it was an hour and 50 minutes
without credits.
So
the pacing. This is the first movies. The past three Marvel movies, I thought I had issues with the pacing.
Like the whole scene with Bill Murray is too long.
I agree.
I expect him to be in more of the movie. To be quite honest.
He's Bill Murray. Unless he's the main character, he's usually in like 10 seconds of the movie.
Yeah.
like Space Jam.
Yeah, there was a couple bits I felt that could have been paced better, but overall, I mean,
Overall the
really
pacing's not bad. It's just the first part of the movie
The
is a
pacing
little bit
didn't bother me
slower.
it didn't bother me as much as
So
the pacing of the past 3 movies.
And I didn't get that feeling of like they tried to cram too much. Into
No, that's what a lot of
I didn't
critics
get
have
that
been
feeling.
saying.
I
Now,
did leave the movie with
what
the heck feeling.
Now, like the last like 2/3 of the movie, they were fast, but it wasn't like they were trying to cram too much. That's not it at all. It was just a faster paced movie towards the end.
Yeah, because the first third is just like, hey, we're in a completely different area, and then the next two are just like, oh, now we're sucked into this area now. So,
Oh, there's Bad Man.
All right, we should probably talk about the parts of this movie that we
yes,
actually
please,
like.
because I really like this movie.
I don't really love it, but I'm gonna really type up these good parts because
Because the good parts is probably one of the best acted characters in Marvel ever.
And now we're Mr. Kang.
when you get one of the best actors in Hollywood right now,
Right now.
You're gonna
Because
get
up until recently, nobody knew who he was.
he's kind of popping off right now.
He is.
Yes, Devotion, he's incredible. This,
We were talking about Jonathan Majors.
he gives a couple, like whenever he is talking to Janet in his like little throne room thing.
Yeah.
He says, "You have no idea what I have lost." Dude, are you kidding?
Yeah.
He can act his butt off. His facial acting is incredible.
Oh, yeah.
It's otherworldly.
He's one of the best villains.
Like there's like whenever
That line gave me little flashbacks to the scene in Devotion where he's like talking to himself in the mirror.
because like he's crying.
Yeah.
No, there's one point when he turns his head. There's a single tear rolling down his
Yeah.
cheek,
He's
and I'm like, dude,
He's incredible.
Yeah.
I'm so glad that we're gonna get a lot more
I
of
hate
him.
that he has his ugly shadow of a side villain in this movie
Yes.
that
But
makes
but,
me...
but, but he's
Who-
still seeing
Who he talks to once,
Yeah.
and it's to tell him to shut
Tell him
up,
to
Yeah.
shut up.
which I think is funny.
I hate it!
Because he comes in and he starts saying something and he just goes, do not
Don't
speak when
speak.
I'm in the room.
His powers
Yeah.
are cool as heck. Can we talk about that?
Yeah.
How he has like energy powers and stuff, but he also like has the force.
Yeah, how do those work? Because they seem to just like go away at the end. Is it tied to like his suit or something?
Yes.
I think so because it's technology based.
His-
And he's from
he is
way in
from
the
a
future.
future.
He is technology based. His energy powers are heavily based on his suit.
Gotcha.
Like in the comics, like he has like this like sword that comes out of like like an Assassin's Creed.
Yeah,
it comes
he's always
directly.
been
It comes directly
technology
from the suit.
based.
Yep.
Yeah. But Kang, I think, is one of the best villains in the MCU.
And I'm so glad we're gonna get so much
Yes,
more.
it's got me so
A lot of
excited
them.
for later on.
It's got me excited for Creed. Jonathan
It's like
Majors.
acting, yeah.
It's got me excited for
week.
everything. Yeah, it's got me everything excited because he's gonna be in so much more stuff now that he's like as well known as he
Probably.
is.
Yeah, he's popping off. We talked about the villain. We gotta talk about the hero.
They're great. He's great.
Love
He's
Scott.
Yeah.
He's amazing.
Love
And Paul Rudd really takes a jump in his acting in a lot of parts.
He
Especially-
is pretty serious in this movie.
Yeah,
Yes.
he has his moments.
Which my
yeah.
mom was just like, oh, I hate that he's so serious. He's not always going to be the happy-go-lucky character. Especially
Sometimes you
I-
can't.
I-
Cassie is the basis of a lot of the humor in this movie.
Exactly. But I looked at my mom and I said, look at the scenes of everything else he's in. When is he the most serious? When it deals with Cassie. Every time he is very serious in this movie relates to Cassie.
Yeah.
Especially the scene where Kang is like about to kill her and he goes out and says, don't touch her again.
Only thing is, what are you gonna do?
Yeah. what-
Here.
He's not going to do much, but still, it's like,
All of that.
but still acting.
Yes.
and their relationship is great. I think.
Yeah.
I think Scott. And they
Personally,
honestly
Great
were-
recast. Fantastic recast.
Yeah, great recast.
Amazing.
I
Yeah.
really like Cassie in this movie.
They were definitely the focal point of this movie.
Yeah,
when we
I
talk
like that.
from a relationship standpoint, and it was good. It wasn't what I expected. I kind of expected more of Janet and her family. She got a little bit.
They don't
but
get a lot.
They don't get much. Which I
Yeah,
thought was
the
good.
three of them do not get a lot.
Yeah, and it kind of going.
And the
into
majority
this,
of what Wasp gets is at the very
I
end.
should have expected that going into this because obviously there's some relationship stuff that needs to happen on Hank with Hank.
But at the end of the day, it's called Ant-Man and the Wasp.
right, they were like together for how many minutes of this movie? Not that many.
The end.
They were most of the good chunk of the beginning, like just the first,
They're
a tiny bit of the
split
first
up.
step before they're split up. They meet up again in one of the coolest scenes in the movie, in my opinion, with all, like the
Oh, where there's like 20,000 of each of them. Baskin Robbins. Okay, that's good. That's
That was
well-placed humor.
Yes, it was.
That's well-placed humor. That's
I'll
funny.
give it that. That was good.
entire scene is really
In
funny.
all honesty, that's one of my favorite scenes in the movie.
That
Especially
was
when
a
like
really good scene.
when like
Really.
boosting him up, which like
Baskin
like,
Robbins.
him, but they also it looks like a bunch of ants,
Mm.
which makes sense.
Yeah, right.
And then like there's the cool scene like he's falling out, Wasp comes in, and I'm just I don't know why I was just like
Visually, it was very, very
ooh.
cool.
Visually, this entire movie's
I
good.
think this.
I think
movie was
visually
very,
this
it's very
movie
Star
was-
Wars esque.
Yeah,
I literally said that multiple
everybody's
times.
saying that.
It's very Star Wars esque.
Like,
But
for
I
instance,
actually-
whenever they're
The amount of
whenever
ants.
they're going to meet with Bill Murray's character, is that area they walk through? I'm like, oh my god, Star Wars.
It's like
And even Wasp's
Space Camp, huh?
outfit it looks like, what's that shapeshifter's name from Attack of the Clones?
Oh, Zam was.
It looks exactly like her.
I never thought about that until you brought it
It
up.
looks exactly like her. And then Bill Murray's outfit looks like George Washington.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think visually
Bill.
this movie looks
it
amazing.
does look really, really good. Yes.
Aside from like just some cool action, I think this movie has some really good action.
I think there's some that is good. I
The-
think there's some that's a little weird, and it's a very tough action to capture.
Yeah.
You know, with Ant-Man and
See,
Wasp
there wasn't as
movies.
much. There wasn't as much like of the like them staying small and being action. They always, when they go small, they immediately are big.
Yep, and it's they
Which
go small
the
and-
first
yeah.
the first movie, it's like he fights when he's small.
I
Yeah,
honestly
which
no,
I-
I like the action bits of
Yes.
past Ant-Man things where he's like tiny, you can't see him, people are just falling.
Yeah, because the first
I
movie,
like
he's
that.
This
always
movie,
looking
he
small.
spends more time big than small.
Yeah, and
Where's-
they do the whole shrink, jump, punch, like
Yeah.
it's
I still like
I
it.
would say the only action in this movie that I really, really like is literally just the fist fight at the end.
the hand to hand at the end was really
Yeah.
cool.
That's the only action that I love. The rest of it's okay.
I think they should
I
just
like the rest
stuck with the roots and just like keep them tiny and have
Small.
bodies flying around.
The Ant-Man.
Have bodies flying around, getting
I
punched
did-
by what looks like nothing.
I did love that scene though, where you just hear boom, boom, and then
Oh.
you're seeing all the other characters and it pains over the smoke area, and Scott Big walks through it and just shouts Kang's name. And every time I see it, I'm like, ooh.
Yeah, lots of big Ant-Man in this movie,
Not a lot of big.
which is cool. 'cause you don't
When
get a lot of it.
when you think about it, he's still very small. Yeah, you're like, oh, he's huge. No,
Eh,
he's small.
Not technically.
He quantum realm small.
Yeah.
that's funny. Yeah.
The
Yeah.
suits.
They're
They're
they
good.
did get some changes.
good.
I think this is Wasp's best suit.
It is Wasp's best suit. Cassie's suit was pretty
I
sick.
don't mind Cassie's suit. I like Scott's suit. It's not his best one though.
No, his best one was probably
Like Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Ant-Man
And,
and the Wasp, yeah.
yeah, I still like this one. I like how it's in the same
I like them. I like them.
disc they do
I like the
that.
middle thing.
Yeah, where it's
Yeah.
where apparently that's like just a little like disc. They slap it on their chest and then it forms around them.
Where did Cassie get a suit? Who
I would
who
guess
brought-
Just
Hank.
Hank, because at the
made her
beginning,
one.
at the beginning,
Because Hank's a scoundrel.
Yeah, and she's kind of like his granddaughter at this point.
Yes.
So.
yeah.
And then she doesn't use it until like
About that
Kang
one,
shows up.
About like that 1/3 mark, I would say.
Yes, until Kang shows up, and that's like she doesn't use it, even though they were like in multiple.
I
fights.
love that they did the again. This goes back to Scott and Cassie's relationship in this movie. I love it. They did like the little moment where she grows big and they're both big,
I love.
and she does the I'm craving citrus or I want
I
oranges
said
or
that.
something.
I said call
I
back.
love that they did that callback
Well
to the.
placed. Comedy.
I thought that was good. It wasn't really comedy. It was a great callback. and I
Callback
loved it.
comedy.
I feel
I
like I'm
love
hugging
that.
Godzilla.
I thought that was great. I loved that moment.
Yeah.
Some of that was well placed.
Like
with the
citrus. I know, right?
Yeah.
citrus. Yeah, I love that. I thought that was good.
And also, if you notice, they're talking slower.
Yeah.
They talk slower when
Because
they're.
that's the first time where like they're big and like the mask flips back. Usually that only happens when they're like normal size.
Yeah,
Not like when they're
it's
smaller
weird.
or bigger.
Also, so like, there's oxygen in the quantum realm.
They said that
Yes,
before
so.
because Janet was down. You didn't see Janet with a mask in
Yeah.
Ant-Man and the Wasp.
I don't think scientifically that makes sense, but it's Marvel, so.
Yeah. I like the quantum people.
Yeah.
All the various like.
There's that one guy that let's torture him.
We should torture him.
Oh, I love seeing the dude
We should
from
torture him.
the dude. I can't remember the actor's name, but he was in The Good Place.
Yes,
You ever watch The Good Place?
the guy that read minds.
Yes.
Yes, I know I
And
recognize
his
him.
character was literally just the same as his character from The Good
He
Place.
reads minds, yes.
And his like,
Overpowered.
yeah.
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 I thought he was hilarious.
Ain't funny.
But I did
I
like,
thought he was really
I did
funny.
like
Can you please stop thinking about that?
Yeah.
I'm not. You are.
You are.
thinking that. I like the general. I like little ooze, man.
Drink the ooze.
Drink the ooze.
Yeah, that was weird as hell.
Yeah.
But
I like all the characters in this movie aside from.
He said he had 7 holes and he made me. I literally started counting. I go.
Yeah.
And I go, oh.
Because I was looking at Scott and I glanced over and Jonah.
I literally was doing this.
Yeah.
I was like, wait.
I was just saying, I like all the characters in this movie except for he must not be named, but.
Modig.
Modig.
Even like the general lady who I forgot her name, the one
It's
that like is the leader of like the miss.
Oh, yeah,
the
she-
band,
I like
the
her.
band, her
She was
band.
cool,
Misfits.
yeah.
She was cool. Post credits.
Yeah, we have the post credits.
Credits.
Post credits.
Both post-credit scenes actually matter, unlike most movies.
Yeah.
I guess the first one I'm like, so like they have to talk about the Counts and Kings.
Yeah,
Right?
I'm just trying to sit there being like,
I was like, they have to talk about how there's like millions of him.
I was sitting next to him, and I'm just
And
sitting
I'm
there
just-
like, what
and
can I
then
say to not get
And then
away?
you're sitting there looking at it and we're like, huh. They're screwed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Marvel's screwed.
Because I went into
Very excited.
People are gonna die.
Very excited for
when
that.
I first started Kang Dynasty, I assumed there was gonna be one Kang. Nope.
Which
All of them.
I think it's unfortunate that this Kang dies because he looks really cool.
Yeah.
I
But-
imagine we'll get one similar.
Yes, that's what I said. I'm like, I mean, because like he looks pretty comic accurate,
He looks
except
very
he has a
comic
cape, which is really cool.
Yeah.
But I'm like,
That was sick.
And then
people are gonna die.
Yeah.
So-
That was cool.
But the second post-credit scene I actually think is better than the first one.
Yes, it is.
I flipped.
I was
I
very
freaked out.
excited.
Because he was asking me, like, am I gonna freak out? I go, probably, yeah.
No, and so whenever I saw that it was like an old timey like universe, like that was an alternate universe, right? Where it's like old timey kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And there's like a Kang in disguise,
So pretty much, yeah.
like trying to convince everyone that he's a good guy. And then I'm like, wait. So old timey, who would be?
Especially when I said it was a character you recognize.
Who would be roaming in like other dimensions? And I'm like,
The boys.
the boys.
The boys.
We haven't said their names yet. It's Loki and what's brother's name?
It's like
Mobius.
Owen
Mobius.
Wilson.
I almost said Morbius.
Lightning McQueen.
Lightning McQueen. Owen Wilson. Gotcha.
To see Loki,
It
like,
was really cool. This
to tie in a
scene
show
redeemed the movie.
finally, which is the most important show. so
Hopefully he is coming back to the movies. Please,
far. I would imagine.
Lord.
So yeah.
Yeah,
I want
and this
my
helped the
Loki.
movie a lot for me is because there's something I wanted out of this movie was to start tying things together, start pulling in other media and kind of like putting little puzzle pieces where I can
Because,
go,
like-
I see that's gonna connect here, that's gonna, and
Because-
that did that.
Right,
Because
because
you
Falcon,
walk out of the movie saying that boosted the
because
movie up.
Falcon and Winter Soldier hasn't tied together yet because we haven't gotten to see his Captain America yet in a movie.
Which we will next year.
So yeah, Loki is now tied in.
They're gonna tie in Miss Marvel in November with the
Yeah.
Marvels. But yeah, both post-credit scenes were really good.
They bump it up a little bit for me, honestly. The fact that both of them actually like matter.
Anything else?
I don't know.
I don't think so.
Logan, how about you go first?
Okay, yeah, you can get mine out of the way because it's gonna be the lowest one. So there is a lot to this movie that I enjoyed, and there is a couple things that really brought this movie down.
For good reason.
Modi.
Dude, yeah, MODOK's terrible. I spent like a while trying to think of a character in the MCU that I hated more than him, and there's not one. I gotta be real.
I can think of several.
I can't. I really cannot. And
I can
that's-
think of one.
And that is impressive because the MCU does have some pretty bad characters in it. With how much content has been made, there's
I can
some bad
only
characters.
think of one.
But I did leave this movie excited, mostly because of the after credit scenes.
I can attest to this. I was there.
Which I'm
and
sure is one of the main points of this movie, probably.
I guess. I mean, and I do have to give props to the things that I enjoyed. I loved Kang. I thought Kang was great. I'm very excited to see lots of Kang. More Jonathan Majors.
A lot of Kang.
More Jonathan Majors. I think you couldn't have a better actor.
No,
to be
I don't
playing
think
the
you
next,
could.
To be playing the next big bad
I don't think so
of
either.
the
And also,
MCU
he's
franchise.
jacked.
He is humongous.
In the last scene, whenever he has like part of his armor torn off, dude,
He's
arm,
humongous.
oh my lord, he's huge.
But no, I'm very excited for more Kang. He's definitely gonna be a very, very good big bad.
Hopefully,
I hope so.
hopefully he'll end up there.
Yeah, for sure. I think he has a chance to
be the top.
Now I cannot give this movie a very high score because I mean, the movie as a whole, I didn't enjoy very much, or not very much, but I didn't enjoy a lot of it. There's quite a bit of this movie that made me ick. So I can't go too high. I think I'm not entirely sure. I think I'm gonna stick it at a 7 flat.
Okay.
I'm gonna stick it at a 7 flat right now.
What did you think he was gonna say?
Like 6 something, which is what he told me.
I was thinking high 6 or 7.
Okay, 7. Okay.
I think I'm gonna stick it at a 7 flat.
Okay.
Now that might be subject to change. I've only seen the movie
Which
once.
is like a high C, low B.
Just like that's like a C. That's like solid in C. I would give like a 65 to 75 C. Maybe. So it's like right in the middle of
Anyone in the
C.
7 range, I personally give like a B.
It's right in the middle of C for me.
Okay, yeah, I think 7 is as low as this movie can go. Maybe like high 6. I don't think any lower than that is deserved.
I say
if I'm being quite
if
honest.
someone gives this movie like a 6.5, I'm gonna say they're valid in that.
That's
But anything below like a 6, I see people giving it a 3. That's absurd.
I'll go next.
Okay.
So, I really like this movie. I would even go as far as to say that I loved this movie
10.
because I went
10.
Because I went in, this is the most fun I've had with a Marvel movie since Spider-Man. I came out of Doctor Strange.
Bar's pretty low.
Bar was low, but Doctor Strange, Thor, and Black Panther, I walked out of all of those feeling not satisfied.
Just thinking,
I was thought, walking out of all 3 of those movies. I didn't walk out satisfied. I walked out of this movie all 4 times. Yes, I said it 4 times. Satisfied. And I had fun. I had a lot of fun. So I'm going to say an 8 flat.
At a time.
I'm saying 8 flat.
Okay.
I really, really enjoyed this movie. And the fact that I've seen it 4 times and not get tired of it any of those times, I think is enough of a sign. Because I didn't want to rewatch the past 3 Marvel movies in theaters. This one, I did. I think that alone bumps it pretty high. Because I love Ant-Man. He's one of my top 5 favorite characters in the MCU. So...
Okay. What did I give Thor: Love and Thunder?
Oh, I don't know. All of our score, you might have given like 7 flat in the review, but I think
I gave it a 6.
you gave it 7 flat because of that Korg theory that he told you about.
Yes. Because it makes it better, honestly. You think I give it a 7 flat?
Probably. I think so, yeah. I think, thinking back on the review, I gave it an 8. Bump it down.
I like this movie more.
Okay, if I gave Love and... What?
I said I like this movie way more than Love and Thunder.
I would say way more for me.
Really?
Not way more.
I didn't like Love and Thunder at all. Thought it was bad.
You didn't like Mo Dick.
Yeah.
If I gave Thor: Love and Thunder a 7, and you said I gave Multiverse of Madness an 8,
Yes.
I would give this a 7.2. Is what I'm gonna stick with.
Wow.
Talking about it more, there is some stuff that is genuinely wrong with this movie. It is fun, and I think a lot of the comedy is well placed, but a lot of it is not. It has a definitive bottom 5 character in Marvel history.
Yeah.
If not like a bottom 2 or 3.
Yeah.
I mean, they have a great start with Kang, which I think was the most important part of this movie, which is the thing that they could not get wrong. Else, what the heck? Yeah, it's still enjoyable, but there's definitely some glaring stuff that is wrong. But overall, it doesn't bring it down enough for it to be like a bad movie. I think it's still good, so 7.2 is what I'm sticking with.
Okay. Well, that was going to do it for our review of Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania. Stay tuned for, I believe, the next review, which is going to be The Last of Us video game.
Yes. And I guess around the same time we'll also be doing...
And about like a week or so after we'll do the show. Because Logan has got me hooked on The Last of Us.
I have very much gotten you obsessed with the Last of Us franchise.
He got me to play it, but I love it, but I'm not obsessed.
Yeah, no, he's been obsessed.
I have. It's a problem.
He's been obsessed.
I've played the game.
He's already played.
And then what's the next franchise we're starting?
Next franchise will be Transformers. But the next MCU movie we're going to be reviewing is Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3.
You can't mess it up. Please, Lord, don't mess it up.
Please.
I got faith in James Gunn.
I have plenty of faith in
James
Gunn,
Shotgun.
But
Please don't mess it up.
so Let us know what you thought of Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania
Please
down
do.
below. Let us know if you liked it, if you didn't like it, or if you're in the middle. Curious to hear about what your thoughts were.
Definitely want to hear the thoughts on this one.
There's probably people that unironically really like MODOK.
Yeah.
But yeah.
When are we gonna kill him?
Yeah.
But thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you guys next time. We'll see y'all later, webheads.
Complete.